Today we're going to make the London Tower Bridge, and this is actually part 1 of 2, so there will be a second video of this series coming up. This will be the next video after this one. Let me know down below in the comments what you want me to build for a next video. The main reason why I split this up into 2 parts is because this was just way too big to do in one go. I had to take a break and do this for another time because this took me over 2 hours alone. And then I still have to do the other video, which is also going to take me about 1 to 2 hours to build, so in total, it's quite long. Now let me give you a couple quick tips about this. So the bridge on the right is going to be 15 blocks wide. Everything in here is 1 meter is 1 block, so the bridge is 15 meters wide, which equals to 15 blocks. Then this bit on the left here, this is 20 blocks wide, and this whole thing is 12 blocks above the water level. So knowing those measurements, in my opinion, you should be able to build something that is quite very much like this, if not exactly the same if you pay close attention. Now a quick warning, yes, I will be using a lot of world edit in this, otherwise this would have taken me another 4 times longer, and I wanted it to still be possible for a video, so yes, I use world edit. I know you guys don't like that, some of you don't, some of you do. Thank you, because it makes my videos a lot easier to make, and I can do much bigger structures for you guys instead of all these little ones. The best way that you can do such big builds like these is to always do some sort of frameworking first. So what I'm doing here is I'm laying out the entire thing and making sure that everything fits and that I know how wide and how big certain things are going to be. You also know like exactly where you're going to make it, so it's just way better if you beforehand do exactly like I did, and maybe even, you see the red wool? That was for windows and doors, so you can also plan those types of things. So the big thing that I'm making is the base where this tower is going to stand on. Now this base is a very oval shape and it's very stretched out, as you can see. It has a smooth corner on this end. I'm going to copy that over to the other side when I'm done on this side, but first we need to create some sort of barrier on the left here too. I'm guessing it's for waves that come crashing in, so they don't go exactly into the base, but they sort of like go sideways and then go past it instead of right into it. Here I am also trying to create a nice oval shape, which was sort of hard to do in the beginning, and I added a bunch of blocks on the side here just to make it sort of oval. You want to use slabs, you want to use stairs, and just do that until you have your desired shape, which in this case was sort of oval, and it's sort of like a point sticking out of this base. When I completed one side, I used world edit to copy it over to the other side, which is a flip command, so / flip, and then you look into the direction that you want to flip it in, and you paste your selection back on here. Now I'm going to fill in the rest of the floor that I had to do, and also the wall on the bottom there that goes into the ocean to the ocean floor, and then what I'm going to do here is to just simply copy this whole thing on the left, and then do the same flip command into my right direction over there, so that's east, and then I flip it and paste it right there, and now we have the same thing on both sides. It saves a lot of time, and I know for you console people or Pocket Edition, yes, you have to do this manually, but if you're on a computer PC, then please make use of this. And I know it can be quite hard in the beginning if you don't know how to do all of this, but just practice, look up tutorials, and you'll be a pro in no time. Right now I'm creating the inside, so the center of this big giant tower, and there is a little gate that the bridge goes through, which looks pretty cool. There's a road going to be going all the way through this, and the inside is not done on this video yet because the detailing, most of the detailing is going to be happening in part 2 of this video. So for now I just filled it in with some stone bricks and just have a square inside that looks okay and doable for now, and then we can work with it in the next video. Now definitely the hardest part of this whole tower was to fit in all the windows and doors that we need to do. Because this thing is, yes, I'm recreating this from the real life tower bridge, of course. This is a real thing in London, and I want everything to be as precise as I can be. I want the exact same amount of windows, the exact doors, everything needs to be perfectly the same. And because this is the first time me building it, yes, I had some difficult times in making all these windows and doors, and you'll see that I actually make quite a bit of mistakes, and I redo this entire wall in a second. But now the design sort of is gonna stay similar, and in the end it's actually turning out really well. In the beginning I didn't even had any clue on how I was making the windows. I basically always start these types of videos and then go as I go. I basically just think of what I want to do on the spot, on the fly, and improvise on what I want to build, and sometimes really cool things come out of it, but it's also pretty hard to do. So sometimes it just takes a lot of time to get these videos out. What I basically have to do here is create this wall all the way to the top, and then either the left wall or the right wall on the right or the left. Then if I have those two, I can copy it all the way around and have this entire thing done with only doing 1/4 of it, which is kind of nice. Although it's a bit more than a quarter because you have to do bits on the sides, but it saves a lot of time. That's why I say, if you are on the computer and if you have rolled edit, please use it if you can. There's just no reason not to. The window design that I ended up using is 2 quartz stairs at the top and at the bottom, and then they face down and up. So you have the stairs at the top facing down, and then the top ones facing up. And then there's glass in between this, and then gray wool behind the glass. It gave a very nice effect, and I thought I would use it all over the place in this tower, and it looks very much like the real thing. Now the tower bridge has 2 glass tiny bridges that you can walk through at the top, so I'm going to be making those right there, but I'm not making those in this video yet, although I had to put in the measurement of where I want them to be, of course. By the way, the roof will consist of 4 little corner towers that go up, and they will each have their own sort of cone roof going up like a castle tower would have. Then in the center is going to be a bigger roof going to the top, and this will all lead down to the corners, making it one nice looking roof in the end. You'll see how I do that. It's going to be pretty difficult, but if you see how I'm doing it, you'll actually just figure it out. By the way guys, if you are enjoying these types of videos, then definitely let me know down below, and also show your support by clicking on the like button. It takes 1 second, but it definitely helps me out a bunch. So I'm going to be making the cone-shaped roofs that go on these corner towers, and they're going to be pretty difficult to make because they're very tiny. Now it's not really difficult, but it's hard to make it look good. That's what I'm trying to say. So you sort of have to just go with what you have, because we only have 4 blocks in width. That's very tiny, and you need to create a nice cone shape out of it, and this is the best I could do with a cobblestone wall at the top to finish it off. Now I also had to do these windows over here, super simple, the exact same design as below, which uses stairs and then glass in between, and then later on I'm gonna put some gray wool behind it to give it a sort of dark effect, like it would be dark on the inside of its tower. Now there's sort of a balcony at the front there, which I didn't make fully right here, but I'm gonna make them on the left wall, and then I'm gonna come back and fix it on this wall, so you'll see that in a second. Now these things also, every wall has a roof window over there, so that's going to be added on each side of the wall as well, and the roof is going to look very busy and crowded and difficult to make, but trust me, you'll see in a second that is actually not really that hard to do. So I'm going to finish off the left tower the exact same way I did on the right side, which is exactly building it the same way I did, and then we're going to go over to the left wall, which is going to be the second part of this video right here. Now if I make this left wall fully, then is the time when I can copy this entire thing round and basically have this tower finished, which is amazing. So as you saw, I just built up the wall all the way to the top. I filled it in nicely at the bottom so that the gate fits nicely in the wall, and now we're just pulling through the design on the right I did to the left, and then making the windows in between these things, and that actually made it easier to do on this wall because I already had the design down from the first wall, so I can very quickly do it on this side. Now this is the balcony I was talking about earlier, and I'm only making half of this wall, by the way, which is why I'm going to be copying it over, so only half of this wall is built. This side also will have a bunch more windows and a lot of wider windows, because the middle one, I'm only building half of it like I just said, and it's already almost bigger than the right one. So this middle window is going to be 5 blocks wide, which is 5 meters, which is huge. It's of course a couple windows, but I can't make very tiny little walls in between the windows, so that's why I'm just making them in one big piece. Now you saw that I placed some wool behind it, only behind the part I'm going to copy, so you can see exactly what I have to do and what I don't have to do. Now on the right, as you saw, I fixed up the balcony a little bit so that it looks a little bit more like a balcony, and now on the left we're creating the exact same thing but wider once again. This is also the last row of windows that we have to do before this entire thing is done, which is amazing. So creating the last balcony right here, then a big window in between there. And I'm also actually placing in a bunch of details, so I'm using some normal slabs that actually turned out really nicely. I'm just using them sort of as bricks because this London Tower Bridge is a bit lighter. It's not as dark as the stone bricks, so at the top part, by the way. So I wanted to make the top part a little bit lighter and somehow incorporate these slabs into it, and it worked out very nicely. Now at the top there, we're gonna do another roof window that actually turned out really nicely on the other side, and here I'm just creating it a little bit bigger. The other one was 2 blocks wide, this is 3 blocks wide. Really simple. Then I'm taking the roofs and pulling them into the center to figure out where the exact center of this building is going to be. Then I'm gonna create a nice little area on top of that, and it's gonna be about 15 blocks higher from where the roof starts. I think it was about 15 blocks. Then that area right here I'm going to change into some cobblestone stairs. There you go. And then there's going to be a cool thing on top of that. But first, that's the top of the roof. So we have to connect all things and go towards that roof in a nice sort of angle. And now it still looks pretty bad, but it's going to look very nice in a second when I add a bunch of stairs, and it's going to be a nice smooth roof to the top. So just have these roof windows. You want to make them go to the center so that everything is closed off. You don't have any gaps anymore. And then we can place in some stairs to make everything look a bit smoother. Now, this is not a very easy shape to make, of course, so it doesn't look perfect from the eye right here. But once I copy that whole thing around, it's going to look pretty freaking amazing. Which, by the way, is going to happen exactly right now. So I copy one corner, I rotate it, paste it, rotate it, paste it, rotate it, and paste it. And that's it, guys. That's this tower for today. The second part of this video will come out very soon. Thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you want to see more awesome stuff, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Bye bye.